everyone. Okay, coming last has its own sort of pressures, trying to follow all the amazing poets that came before. But I'll start off with a longer piece that I've been working on as part of my thesis I have to hand in September. I'll do that now while I still have your attention and while you're not bored of my voice. It's called Fayrouz is Searching for a Pair of Eyes. And for those who don't know, Fayrouz is an Arab Lebanese singer whose cultural significance I can't even equate because there's no equivalent in Western sort of pop culture. And she's got a song called Abhathu an Aynayn, which the lyrics of which translate to I'm searching for a pair of eyes, the colour of a country with a face like the dawning of a harvest. And that's a sort of jumping off point for this piece. Can you all hear me? Okay, just checking. Fayrouz is searching for a pair of eyes, the colour of a country, and in the National Gallery of Art I find her staring at me from within the body of a new woman. A spectacle of light caught mid-conversation. In the limelight nearby, I tell her we are not entitled to know the body yet. It will escape us, like it always does, one foot in front of the other. And to figure a border, I've been told you must first start with the body. In the fresco of a bathing woman, you can see the effect of its creator's breath left on the edge of the canvas, where the edge is purposeful. Unlike how Beledi in the 20th century was created almost by accident, we know how a single sneeze from the right white nose can cut open a new country. I watch water spill out of the woman's face like a harvest, each pigment wept into position, then I move on. Elif, elif. They say we owe it to God's country to mark our distance from its beginning. It's one rosary eye, so while in the Westernist I try to make her a country of our own. As best as I can, but each museum is a mirror in mourning, each artifact a stolen sky, so homelandless I return to our cities. And on those same balconies nearby, women ululate their welcome through the air like a bird, glistening against the limestone. If only a camera could capture the moment these cities will suspend their cruelty, cracking their knees gently mid-prayer, mid-glorified heat, foreheads pressed firmly to the floor. Elif, elif, elif. On my way back from a future exhibit, I find for Fayrouz an almost country, a mountain of turquoise cloud hiding in the desert, what she wished for, that one wellspring of a song called Watani. She asks me then to bring the music home, but mid-air it dissolves its architecture. Elif, 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 elif. Ah, ya Elbi, it's almost as if this new Mesopotamia doesn't want to be found. Hiding somewhere in a Madaba-like mosaic bare in the basement of an unknown church. Still, Fayrouz chases the silhouette of its dream on the behalf of storms everywhere. Elif, 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 elif. Dear Mr. Gallery Man, I am lost, and have been lost for centuries. The instructions are missing, and I am tired. I would like to stop looking by myself for a while. Elif, 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 elif. Fayrouz is searching for a country the colour of a pair of eyes, with a harvest like the dawning of a face, so I draw on her eyebrows with a felt pen. I stretch her skin with total intent. I hope to put all sneezes with their endless consequences behind me. Since it is written that to body the edge of a border first, you must open its figure first. You start with its eyes. Elif, 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 elif. في معهد فن في سيفسائي والترميم, I ask my instructor how easy it is to forget origin, how difficult it is to restore a whole of fragments, to rebuild a body post-partition. She says, whatever you do, mosaics are pixelated. You can't ask a tessera to be other than what it is. Ya Zein, Habibti, it would do you well to remember. Not every mosaic can be saved from time. It's burglars. Alif, 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 alif. In my dream, I'm on Auntie Zain's porch, painting a blue peninsula into the sky named Fairuz. In the near distance, the Dead Sea makes her first appearance 423 new meters above place, 60.8 kilometers too close for comfort. Each pillar the old sea brings with it sits tight in the garden. Right below our family's oldest possession, a country of light drawn fresh and freehand. Alif, alif, alif. But these women welcoming us to a home mismade, how they embody the air and the dents of their frame, how among our elders an Agile pipe travels, how the cards are lost slowly, sheikh by sheikh. Alif, alif. Multiple modes of sensation cannot exist without suffering. The old masters, how well they understood of acclamation to the flesh can make itself a master. If the sky changes tone, the brush tips must charge onwards. Our hands must negotiate the unanticipated, one gradual mixture at a time. To create, you must accept the human position, accept the gradients you cannot change with a flexible wrist, hold your palette close to the heart of your eyes. Do not forget the canvas begins as a desert, neither of which are blank, the brush an extension of lightning ready to make its mark. Approach both gently. Trust in their ability to strike in the sand a sign you did not know you needed. Alif. When you asked me what Mahmoud meant when he said, لربما القمر ليس جميلا إلا لأنه بعيد. Oh, I told you maybe the moon is beautiful only because it is far away. You said translation fit my mouth perfectly. Since then, I've asked the moon to come closer every night, but every night the moon pretends not to hear me. She turns her face away from me until all I can see is the pure curvature of her neck, stretched like a minaret, light to the horizon. The rest of her body, a faint border in the dark. Ya Amar, عيوني إليك ترحل كل يوم وإنني أصلي. Okay, so that was a long one. As part of my thesis, I'm working on a series of staircase poems. So where I'm from, Amman, Jordan, there are lots of really old winding staircases from the very top of the city to the very bottom of its valleys, and I like to use those as sort of like conceptual, just playthings. So I'm going to read you a few of those staircase poems, each of which is set in a different part of my city. So the first, or technically it's the second one, but staircase number 2, Shmaisani. On the way towards the fourth circle, we become vulnerable to the touch of others, to an architecture of bodies marching in the streets. Be what feels like a dream, I watch Karma yell with the swelling of the crowd around us. These moments of joint geography, be for now than they ever were, hold witness to our bodies, holding witness to our estrangement, to our time spent elsewhere, elsewhereing. Witness how many things our city is. Empire buzzing against the walls of its jar. Staircase number 3, Jabal al-Qala. Over the citadel, Sa'dedin finds its way through the typical traffic. Mid-August, ruins roll their bellies in the background to the tune of an end-blown flute. Amidst kull al-mashroob, turmus skins land everywhere. victims to the music, trailing under plastic tabletops where pumpkin seeds fall to the Roman-worn floor like soldiers. Soon, I'd like to remember this with you in it. Wide-eyed, double apple, dancing under an aguila's familiar smoke. Keep after every midnight you'd call me from a somewhere balcony, Ismi in your mouth a city that our Fairuz would long to sing for. Staircase number 4, Jabal al-Wigde. The tourists are taking over the square, and I've seen it. Past the Frenchified street lamps and Wallace fountains, I've seen it. By Mama's childhood home near the Wad al-Hawuz, I've seen it. The window sign reading, Shaqal al-Ijar, for expats only. I've lived my life so far, an archive of the city, my face, my mother's, mirrored outside the sandstone walls, as the city holds its people differently. It stages its streets like an exercise in circumstance, averting its gaze westward in favor of elsewhere. If you'll excuse me from reading from my phone, I've got a few more from here. This one I wrote quite a while ago last year. Does anyone here know who Abdul Halim Hafiz is? Yeah? Okay, that's a few, so I'll explain. Abdul Halim Hafiz is also a really big singer who's massively influential in the Middle East and North Africa region. He's Egyptian. To give you sort of a bit of history, when he died, women were throwing themselves off balconies. That's how big he was. My grandmother wore black for 6 months straight in mourning. And he's got a song, the lyrics of which were written by Zein Sa'dedin, who's a really famous poet, but the title of the song sort of translates to a letter from underwater. So this poem I wrote is in response to that quite a while ago. But a letter to Abdul Halim Hafiz, in which Abdul Halim is someone else. Elif, if anything, let it be a love poem that reaches you. And be sinking the Nile, it's impossible now for me to be romantic in any sense. I clutch at the day as it takes on and press my tongue to its wrist for good measure. I drink, feel the air crowd inside my body. It too will leave me when it's done, bored. Love makes all of us poetic, bored, for as long as it pleases. Elif, Elif. The song starts, your eyes find other reflections, like bouncing from place to place. Tonight the plane departs or arrives, but neither of us are on it. Oh, how I would give up forever to touch you. Please, Habibi, tell me how you like it. The water, the libri, boils, or cools, or waits for you to pour it. Elif, Elif, Elif. The river in front of me is sad. Today it suspends itself mid-air, mid-blue, beat of its babe like wings. On Instagram I caption this real reckless behavior. Perfect disaster, I edit excess loneliness from its waters, then I post it on Instagram. I tell you I don't consider Nile a miracle anymore. Elif, 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 Elif. Building a palace of easy peelers by your favorite patch of sand, I tried to give the air a tender smell. Like har, it hella grows into silk. Wallah, it asks if I am in love still. I prep my body to part with its shame. Yes, Habibi, I read every letter you sent from your bed at the bottom of the river like a prayer. Fund Wasunna, yours sincerely, in underwater. Okay. I've only ever recently read in Scotland, and people don't really clap after every poem, so this is kind of nice. A bit of an ego boost, not gonna lie. So, I've been reading a lot about pre-Islamic Arabian poetry, what we call the Jahiliyyah poetry, and there's a trope in it where the sorry, I know people don't tend to explain their poems, but I find this context a bit relevant. So it's, poets would use lightning scenes, or they would begin their poems where they'd be overlooking the desert during a storm of lightning, and that would be sort of the way that they would start their poems, and it was a really common trope, so I've been trying to sort of play around with that and see what happens. And so this one is called Lightning Scene, a Sky Attempting Self-Portraiture. Bikul Saraha, I know I'm a hard one to please. I wear my heart on the sleeves of semantics who've heard the poetic mode of absence. Space licks me clean as a plate. I place the moon at the heart, that is to say the liver, that is to say a mosque, that is to say mandala extending outwards, that is to say a metaphor wasting its time. Let's imagine again, Habibi, that I am not as lonely as I hope. As I am in the socket of sleep, I spend my nights in favor of lightning. Listening to the retelling of dreams, I plant each of these scenes with a dark thumb, mirror-like, magnificent. As the thunder gathers in applause, strange witness, your desire waits its turn against the window with a lifetime's apprenticeship in stillness. Do you see it generate the rain? Watch me create, then create. Okay, two more and then I'm done, I promise. Since it's currently Ramadan Mubarak to all those who celebrate, I'm not fasting, as you can probably tell by the glass of wine that I've got next to me. I thought it'd be sort of relevant to end on two. I was brought up Muslim, and so that's something that I explore a lot in my poetry, the issues of faith and the tradition that I come from. And so I'm going to end with two poems that explicitly explore that. I would argue that all my poems explore that, but that's a conversation for another day. So this is Night Journey or Debate over the Inviolability of Heavenly Bodies. There's no getting around migration. The sky cracks or closes, the moon splits itself open, the world remains exactly as we know it. Transient. Once upon a time, a man crossed the sky like an ocean. Subhana Rabbi al-Ala, Subhana Rabbi al-Ala, Subhana Rabbi al-Ala. As a child, I thought it my favorite miracle. Man climbing night like a quiet staircase, man riding lightning like a mule. Before his ascent, I heard Jerusalem held the hands of its children in the farthest mosque. Al-Aqsa, Aqsa, afterwards, stones hung in the air, waiting to be domed. But of course, stories shift to fit their occasions. Beginnings end in circular motions, even Sidrat al-Muntaha branches out mid-sentence, only to prostrate at the edge of everything blue. Okay. I promise you don't have to do that, I'll take it personally. Okay, and then the last poem that I'll read is called The Sea is the Most Flexible of Things. And I don't usually translate the Arabic that's in my poems, but I think for this one, the epigraph is relevant. So it takes its epigraph from an ayah in the Quran, which is ayah 30 from Surah Al-Anbiya, which translates to, and we have created out of water everything that lives, so how can they not believe? So this is, the sea is the most flexible of things. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. In quiet corners, I think of all the things I do not think of. Gatekeeper of thoughts, tonight, oddly, the moon is brutal, nonchalant. To be the comfort of her carelessness, I name three good things. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First, the presence of water. Second, the hand of Fatima. Third, wa akhiran, cardamom. I take note of these from the sky like a schoolgirl, Sadaqallah al-Azim. As the ampersand of time moves forward like a hiccup, drawing itself into history, otherwise known as the east border of my country, I know, amongst others, I am damned, damned, damned for all things, like favoring sunflower seeds in particular. A true Arab I am, I think, a combination of aches protruding like balconies over the city. I watch these superstitions change accordingly. What a sight, mashallah. How little us mud things have to offer. Thank you.